Stickman Trenches changed forever. Again. We've got new vehicles. Yes. So let's choose our British friends. We've got weather turned off, as well as the day and night cycle, just so it's pretty. Now I've got an announcement, and that is that Stickman Trenches has a release date. So drum roll, please. March 1st. Stickman Trenches is going to be released March 1st on Steam, so make sure to wishlist and follow it right now, because it helps us out so much. Now this map is kind of interesting because the two trenches are like right next to each other, and there's only 6 of them. So what I'm thinking what we want to do is get to this middle area and take a machine gun early, and then try to be a little more defensive. So let's see if we win this one. Well, we should, unless this guy just goes Vasily Zaitsev on us. But look at this, the heavy tank. We've got a lot of comments about like bringing in land ships, which were iconic in World War I. Let's summon a flamethrower. I mean, if it's on the menu. That was the new unit that was added last week. This shotgunner is tearing me up. There we go. Finally got him. Oh my goodness. We're saving up our medals though, because the Mark V for the British, Mark IV, the Mark series of tanks, and the A7V for the Germans were the big requests for which land ships we should use. Shotgunners are so freaking powerful in this scenario. I might actually have to pull back and just kind of hold down the fort here. You know what? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get 1 rifleman and save up $200. Please do not charge me, officer and rifleman. Oh my god, they artilleried me. We'll get the machine gun. He doesn't have to run far. Another change that was suggested by you guys in the past. Like I said, developing this game, being a part of it, designing it with your guys' feedback has probably been one of the most fun experiences in all of my years doing YouTube and in my very, very early years of game development. Like, I think we're just gonna keep doing it this way. You guys have incredible ideas. It's so much fun. And it's like we get a crowd think what we're doing for the game. So at this point, we do have 4 medals. I'm actually thinking we might need to... Well, first off, let's get a little tank. So we're going to elongate the battle. Right now, you can unlock the heavy tank with 5 medals, and then obviously paying the money. Ooh, that was a big hit. Okay, if they charged us now, we would be in trouble. But they're gonna wait, and we're gonna summon in our light tank. Now, the light tanks for both factions, Germany and England, are represented by a French tank, which I think is funny, but it's just a very iconic World War I tank. I think it and it was considered what? The first true modern tank because it had a fully traversable turret. Now, the enemy is gearing up for this defense. They got the shotgunner, the officer. They also have a flamethrower out here and a machine gun. I feel like the machine gun and the flamethrower should roast that pretty well. We're gonna take the money. Although unlocking precision artillery, that's the better play. If they start bringing out tanks, right now, the only real counter to tanks, ooh, and they got chemical warfare. Okay, that's problematic because I'm gonna need officers. But the only true counter to tanks, I think, right now, is precision-based artillery. So here's a question for you guys as we gear up. But what we need to do is have more anti-tank units or more anti-tank abilities. I think one of the more obvious choices, and this has been oh my god, that officer, I'm glad I checked. That officer came in clutch. But I think one of the more obvious choices right now, we have a research tree. And it's pretty simple. And we want to expand on it. You jerks. Let's get another officer. And I'm thinking that we can either do it 2 ways. We want to bring in anti-tank rifles. The first idea is to have a separate anti-tank rifle unit. And we've got some ideas for how we can do, basically right now you have 10 little squares for your abilities and your units and artillery strikes and things like that. We're going to continually add new stuff. So this place isn't going to get more crowded. You're going to have to carefully choose between which units you want. You'll start out with a few default ones, and then you'll have a few slots where you get a click and then say, oh, I want this or I want that. Anti-tank rifle unit being its own unit, or secondarily, what we could have is an upgrade for the snipers, and it would go under the research tree. Under the research tree, some of the other things that I want to have are, right now, rifles look like they have bayonets, and they do, but they don't really serve any function, and we're not really going to have melee combat. Ooh, let's unlock all that. Okay, they just, oh, uh-oh. They're rushing us at a very vulnerable time, but I think we should be able to defend this. They called in random artillery. Craters are now permanent, by the way. That was a request. But in this research tree, bayonets could be an upgrade that make your men, riflemen specifically, and maybe shotgunners too, run faster. And you'd see the bayonets on them after that upgrade. Maybe gas masks would move from an officer passive ability to a research tree where you unlock gas masks maybe for all your troops or only some of them. Maybe tanks can get flamethrowers. Speaking of flamethrowers, let's unlock chemical-based warfare. We'll exchange... Oh, we're out of metals. Oh, they just keep crushing my machine gunner. But there's just so many ideas for the research tree specifically. All right, no officer. Well, you've got some valuable snipers. They're gonna get crushed. Oh, they countered me with gas, but we have some officers in there, so most of my guys should be able to survive that. But so that's the thinking, right? And maybe one of the research trees could be giving flamethrowers to tanks, because right now the idea is like we have flamethrowers in place of the submachine gunners. Obviously, we want both units available for you to choose. Maybe flamethrowers are an upgrade for submachine guns, since it's sort of like the assault type of a unit. Man, these guys are heavily defended. This is like the Siegfried line, man. They got twin machine gun bunkers. I don't think they're not fully upgraded. Oh god, precision strike. So we could send an attack, or I could save up for a heavy tank, because I want to show off the British one and the German one. So you know what? Let's save up for it now. They've got a very heavily defended line. Well, you know what could crush it? Dun 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 dun. The heavy tank. This is the Mark series tank. Now, there's sort of 3 tanks. Let's get some stars, because my guys might actually be dead. Oh yeah, they're dead. This thing goes slow. It goes even slower than the light tank. We've got 3 types of tanks: machine gun tank, cannon tank, and then the heavy tank, or as I like to call it, the land ship. The land ship shoots a cannon as well as a machine gun, and it goes slower. It's more armored. I'm really excited. I was hoping that there'd be more infantry, but they decided to push out. So I'm pretty sure, okay, they got some snipers. But yeah, see right here, snipers are able to hit. Oh, and they're countering with a tank. So destroyed the bunker. We're encountering a light tank. This thing is still going. If it was a light tank, it would already be dead. It's getting roasted by the flamethrower. And it finally went down. See, if we had followed up our attack with a bunch of infantry, which we do not have right now, we probably would have won the day. I kind of want more medals so then I can get faster riflemen spawning. Where do they launched chems back there? So what did you guys think of the heavy tank land ship? That thing did some work. They've got a lot of flamethrowers. Random artillery sort of missed there. We're gonna queue up another one. Now, just for scientific purposes, I want to show you the speed difference. We actually spawned in the land ship first, and look at this. And then, of course, you have infantry, which move the fastest. Because, well, you know, back then, tanks were pretty much just like tractors. We do have a pretty impressive... Ooh! Chems! Chems! Gas! But yeah, so this thing's actually going to soften them up. Although that's a pretty well-defended trench with snipers that do good damage. Flamethrowers as well. We'll take the metals. So in this case, oh man, the machine gun is cleaning house. We're still working on balance, but I mean, at this point, I think the land ship's gonna be able to do some damage to that heavy bunker. But right now, with it only costing 5 metals to unlock, and then 650 gold, you can get it out pretty early. Now here we're gonna be playing as the German-based Stickman faction. You can tell by their cool little helmets. I think the one with the little spike on it just looks so cool. And we're fighting the British, obviously. A lot of suggestions were to put specific units behind specific factions. And once we have probably one of our first big updates to the game once it's out, which is gonna be on March 1st, so make sure to wishlist the game right now. But once it's been out, you know, maybe a month, a couple months, and we get our first big update, we want to add factions, right? And we want to have faction-specific units for that. But look at this. The heavy tank for the Germans is the A7V, which was the most requested one, and it's the one that makes the most sense for the big land ship. So at this point, what we need to do is basically bunker up our side of the river, but I want to see how rivers affect an already ponderous and incredibly slow tank. So what we need to do is get the machine gun upgrade. We're going to be playing rather defensively on this one, so it's going to take a little bit of time. And then we want to upgrade this trench, probably to at least tier 2 or 3. The enemy's got snipers, but that won't help you when you got to rush across a river. Although we're going to need our own snipers, aren't we? Dang it. And every medal is even more precious. So yes, March 1st is the release date, which I believe it's a Wednesday. We kind of took a look at the other games that are coming out on Steam around that time, and that was a day that we could be like the most wishlisted game that was going to be released that day. So we thought that was kind of cool. And then if we release it and we have any issues, we should should be able to get out a patch relatively quickly before the weekend. So we thought that was a good idea. All right, does the enemy hasn't gotten any artillery. Another thing that's interesting right now in this build, which is still sort of testing, is snipers don't cost medals to purchase. So you're gonna see the enemy with a lot more snipers. Now, whether that's good or bad, it's scary. So we'll make it if we lose this trench, we just lose the war. Please don't lose this trench. Yeah, the enemy does make a lot more snipers by getting rid of that metal limit. All right, what do we want to summon? Well, obviously a flamethrower because he's worth the most and we don't have them unlocked. He'd be pretty good in assault as well. And we're sitting at 2 medals, but we need 3 more if we want to unlock the A7V. So I could go on a raid, but I think since the enemy has so many sniper rifles, it doesn't favor us. Because so many of our men would get shot so early. I guess if we do get killed in this trench, we'll have a machine gun waiting for us. Well, we need the medals. I think we've got a pretty big army. None of these guys are coming home. Oh my god, the snipers. Let's unlock the officers. Dang, and the machine guns. We actually killed a decent amount of them. And let's get these medals. All right, we unlocked the heavy tank, and we just got so much money. Now, the enemy's trench is pretty weak. We're just building up enough men to get back to where the enemy can't really attack and do much damage. They're replacing their losses. And we have the A7V, the German land ship, approaching. Now it's going to be really interesting when we get to the water. Do we want to summon a machine gun tank? No, we want to unlock the machine gun tank. Oh, look, we've got a little skirmish in no man's land right on the river, too. Ooh, and they launched a precision artillery strike on the tank, which was cool to see the AI do that, but it didn't kill it. That is how strong this dang thing is. He's still going. Overrun this machine gun. Almost got to overrun the machine gun. Are they going to be able to supply that? Okay, if they're not going to be able to supply that, we got to take it. Come on, boys. Excellent. Okay, at this point, what I want to do is I guess we could fortify our position here. We'll upgrade the trench to tier 3. We'll call in a machine gunner who's going to have to run all the way up here. Right now, the Germans have the Vickers machine gun. It'd be cool visually to change it when we have time. Obviously, there's like a laundry list of things we want to do in this game. And like, you know, balance is the most important thing. Replayability is the most important thing. But like having unique factions with unique units and unique styles. So like you have the what, MG08 or whatever, I think is what the Germans used. Okay, that's a pretty sizable bunker. That is a worthy opponent. I'm going to convert my metals and buy a land ship. It's going to take quite a while. So it's about what? We got it around 8 minutes or something like that. Let's see how many seconds it takes to get up here and then to the front lines. The artillery and took out my machine gun. Oh, 600 stars. Oh my God, they killed everybody. They charged. Unbelievable. I'm calling it a machine gunner, I think. Dang. That was sort of unexpected, man. Oh my gosh. They just wiped out my whole army except for my tank. Now, they charged 2 guys into no man's land. That was not smart. The flamethrower and the machine gun are going to be tough, and this guy has taken a decent amount of damage already, but he should be able to overrun this position. So now, I don't know if he's going to be able to kill this base. They have upgraded. Let's get more medals. Oh, we died. Okay, let's exchange some and let's get quicker riflemen. We'll get another one and then we'll just start pumping out riflemen to try to take this position and hold it. So we've used 2 land ships already of the German varieties, but the enemy seems to have... Uh-oh, that's not good. That flamethrower is going to roast us. Yeah, okay. Very heavy assault stuff. You know what? Since it's time, this guy should actually catch the land ship and then beat him to the punch. Uh-oh. He's getting stuck in no man's land and they've got a lot of snipers. So imagine if we did have anti-tank rifle units or maybe even sniper upgrades that gave them sort of like better qualities against anti-tank. Or I mean, better anti-tank qualities. Where are my men, man? Most of my guys are just dead. But the light tank is almost there. They might actually attack together. And I think if they do, we should be able to pull out the victory, especially if we send in the units, but I just want to see the tanks do the heavy lifting here. There it is. See, the fact that the land ship has a cannon and a machine gun is huge, although he is just taking a beating. He might actually die right before we get it. Yes! Oh, that's unfortunate. I should have sent in the men and we would have been victorious. All right. Nope. Oh. We're calling in a light tank. Oh, the flamethrowers. Ooh, well, 3 metals is worth 600. But the metals are more versatile if I want to unlock things. Like, you know, tanks. Alright, let's see if I can't use precision artillery to kill 2 of these flamethrowers. Sometimes you just get lucky. And we're queuing up as many soldiers as we can to try to take this trench. The light tank is going to clear the way and probably even do some damage. The sniper from the roof of the bunker got the first shot. And yeah, you see how easily light tanks are destroyed. So this time what we need to do is what you would do in a real war, right? Or if you were using proper strategy. Support your tanks with infantry. But I kind of wanted to, you know, just like test it. How powerful is this thing? Okay, so probably right now. Oh yeah, I think we've got this now. Yes! The Germans are coming! The Germans are coming! If you guys do want to see more Stickman Trenches, pull the trigger on the like button, let me know. The game is going to release on March 1st, so make sure to wishlist it on Steam right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.